The winner is John Wayne in True Blood.
John Wayne was more than just a cowboy on screen. He was a quiet empire builder. While fans admired his grit in gunslinging roles, behind the scenes he quietly amassed a massive fortune. But the real surprise came after his death. When details of his hidden wealth surfaced, Hollywood was stunned. His legacy wasn't just cinematic, it was financial, too. The Duke had built an empire few ever saw coming. Early life. Before John Wayne became a Hollywood legend, he was a small-town boy named Marion Robert Morrison. He was born in Winterset, Iowa, in 1907. His family lived a simple life, working hard every day to make sure they had what they needed. Life was not easy, but they stuck together and did their best. When Marion was still young, his family decided to move to Glendale, California, and that move changed everything. In Glendale, Marion got a new nickname, Duke. The name came from a big dog he had, an Airedale Terrier also named Duke. Marion and his dog were inseparable, so people started calling the boy Little Duke and the dog Big Duke. Marion liked the nickname and kept it. From that day on, people called him Duke, a name that stuck with him for life. As a boy and young man, Duke was full of energy. He had a strong body and loved sports, especially football. In high school, he became a star player and soon earned a football scholarship to the University of Southern California. It was a big opportunity, and he dreamed of becoming a famous athlete. But life took a sudden turn when Duke suffered a serious injury during a game. The accident ended his football career and shattered his hopes of athletic stardom. Instead of giving up, Duke looked for another path. In 1926, one of his old football coaches helped him find work at Fox Film Corporation. His job wasn't glamorous, moving props, carrying equipment, and helping behind the scenes, but it gave him a chance to see the movie world up close. He even appeared in silent films as an extra, which put him in front of the camera for the first time. While working at Fox, Duke met director John Ford, who recognized his strong presence and believed he had potential. Their friendship became life-changing, with Ford later directing many of the films that made Duke a star. One of Duke's earliest movie appearances was in Mother Macri, 1928, where his role involved herding geese. It was a tiny part, but it marked his first step into Hollywood. Soon, bigger opportunities would follow, and his bond with John Ford would prove vital to his rise. The struggles. In the early years of his career, Marion Morrison went through a major change. In 1930, director Raoul Walsh gave him a new name, John Wayne. The studio thought Marion Morrison sounded too soft for a Western hero, but John Wayne had the strong, rugged quality they wanted. From that moment, Marion Morrison became John Wayne. That same year, Wayne landed his first leading role in The Big Trail. It was a huge production with groundbreaking camera techniques and sweeping landscapes. The studio hoped it would be a massive success, but many theaters couldn't project the new film format. As a result, the movie flopped at the box office, slowing down Wayne's career. Still, Wayne refused to quit. Over the next several years, he acted in dozens of low-budget westerns. These films weren't major hits, but they gave him steady work and valuable experience. During this period, he honed his craft, developing the traits that would later define his screen persona: bravery, honesty, strength, and a quiet confidence. Audiences began to believe in the authenticity of his characters, and Wayne started shaping the image that would make him a legend. Beyond acting, Wayne carefully observed the movie business, how directors worked, how sets operated, and how actors were treated. This behind-the-scenes knowledge helped him as he advanced in his career. Then, in 1939, everything changed. John Ford, his longtime friend and mentor, cast him as a Ringo Kid in Stagecoach. Unlike his earlier B-movies, Stagecoach was a high-quality production with sharp writing, strong direction, and a compelling story. The film became a major hit, and audiences loved John Wayne's performance. After years of struggle, Stagecoach gave him the breakthrough he had been waiting for. From then on, his name was known everywhere. His tough cowboy image stuck with him for decades, and the years of hard work and disappointment only strengthened his legacy. John Wayne's journey from a small-town boy named Marion Morrison to one of Hollywood's greatest stars was far from easy. Yet through perseverance, grit, and A Little Luck, the Duke rose from humble beginnings to become a cinematic icon and eventually an empire builder whose influence reached far beyond the silver screen. The Golden Years. After Stagecoach came out in 1939, everything changed for John Wayne. The film earned 7 Academy Award nominations and turned him into a major name in Hollywood. It also began his long friendship and working partnership with director John Ford. From 1939 to 1963, they collaborated on many films, which helped Wayne grow as an actor. In The Long Voyage Home, he took on a deeper role that showed he had real acting ability, not just a commanding presence. Through these films, he built the kind of character audiences came to love: brave, strong, and honest. In the late 1940s and through the 1950s, Wayne expanded his career by starring in war films. In 1949, he appeared in Sands of Iwo Jima, playing a Marine sergeant. The role earned him his first Academy Award nomination and proved he could do more than westerns. Around this time, he also starred in classics such as You Wore a Yellow Ribbon, Rio Grande, and The Searchers, which gave him opportunities to show greater depth and emotion in his performances. Wayne also uses movies to share his personal beliefs. Deeply patriotic, he often expressed his views through film. In 1960, he directed and starred in The Alamo, a project he spent years trying to bring to life. Later, in 1968, he produced The Green Berets, one of the first major Hollywood films to openly support the Vietnam War. For him, these movies were more than entertainment. They were a statement about his values. Then came one of the biggest moments of his career. In 1969, Wayne won the Academy Award for True Grit. Playing Rooster Cogburn, a rough and rugged U.S. Marshal with one eye, he stepped outside his usual clean-cut roles. The character let him show humor, weariness, and boldness all at once, and audiences loved it. The Oscar confirmed his versatility and cemented his reputation as one of Hollywood's greats. The business mistakes. Even as his stardom soared, Wayne's financial life wasn't always as steady. Despite making millions, he also lost vast sums because of misplaced trust. Twice in his life, he faced major financial crises that nearly left him broke. The first happened in the 1950s when Wayne entrusted his finances to business manager Beau Ruse. Convinced Ruse was smart and reliable, Wayne gave him full control of his money. But Ruse led him into disastrous investments, including a scam deal in Panama that cost him $700,000. Related ventures wiped out another $1 million. Despite being one of the world's biggest movie stars, Wayne found himself nearly penniless. Sadly, trouble struck again when he trusted his son-in-law, Donald Lockcover, with his finances. Believing family would be safer than outsiders, Wayne let Lockcover manage his money. But poor decisions quickly piled up, and Wayne remained unaware until the bills arrived. One of the lowest moments came when he received an overdue bill from Saks Fifth Avenue for just $3,500, an embarrassing sum compared to his Hollywood earnings. It was a breaking point. From then on, Wayne changed course. He stopped handing over full control to others and began managing his own affairs. He carefully read contracts, asked questions, and avoided risky ventures. Slowly, he rebuilt his fortune. By focusing on reliable film projects and making smarter choices, he secured lasting wealth not just for himself but also for his children and grandchildren. The Secret Health Battle. In 1956, Wayne starred in The Conqueror, filmed in St. George, Utah. The location seemed ideal for a desert setting, but few knew that nearby the U.S. government had conducted nuclear tests. Radioactive dust often drifted over the area where the cast and crew worked. At the time, no one realized how dangerous it was. Out of about 220 people who worked on the film, 91 were later diagnosed with cancer and 46 died. Many believe the location contributed to their illnesses, and Wayne may have been one of them. In 1964, Wayne was diagnosed with lung cancer after years of heavy smoking. Doctors removed one lung and several ribs in a major surgery. Many doubted he would survive, but Wayne recovered and returned to acting with remarkable determination. He continued working, seemingly as unstoppable off-screen as he was on-screen. Years later, he was diagnosed with stomach cancer, facing another painful battle. Despite his condition, Wayne remained strong, using his public platform to encourage others to take cancer seriously, get regular checkups, and seek medical help early. He became a quiet but powerful advocate for awareness. His final film, The Shooters, 1976, mirrored his real-life struggle. Playing an aging gunfighter dying of cancer, Wayne delivered a moving performance that many fans saw as a cinematic farewell. At the time, he was facing the disease himself, giving the role even greater weight. On June 11, 1979, John Wayne died at the age of 72. His long battle with cancer had come to an end. Even through years of illness, he kept working, showing the same strength and resilience in life that he had so often portrayed on screen. Wayne's fight with cancer remained mostly private, but his death revealed the depth of his courage. He left behind more than just unforgettable films. He left a legacy of grit, perseverance, and an empire that extended far beyond Hollywood. The controversial will. When John Wayne passed away in June 1979, he left behind far more than a legendary film career. He left behind a substantial fortune. At the time, his estate was valued at around $7 million, the equivalent of nearly $25 million today. Over the years, he had accumulated several homes, land, and valuable assets, including properties in Arizona and Washington state. These places carried not only financial worth, but also memories from different chapters of his life. His will was carefully prepared to ensure that those closest to him were cared for, reflecting both gratitude and caution. Who was included? Some names in the will were expected, while others came as surprises. Wayne had 7 children from 2 marriages, and each one inherited a share of his estate. Alongside money, some also received personal possessions that had deep sentimental meaning. His decisions showed a clear intent to provide his children with stability and security even after his passing. John also provided for his first wife, Josephine. Though their marriage had ended long before, he set up a trust fund that guaranteed her regular payments, a sign of respect for their shared history. Outside of family, Wayne remembered 2 longtime secretaries, rewarding their years of loyalty with gifts worth tens of thousands of dollars. Their presence throughout his career had been invaluable, and he made sure they were recognized. Notably absent from the will was his third wife, Pilar Pallet. The couple had signed a financial settlement long before Wayne's death, and had been living separately for years. As a result, she had no legal claim to his estate and was intentionally left out. One of the most surprising provisions involved his son-in-law, Donald Larkova, the husband of Wayne's eldest daughter. Years earlier, Larkova's poor financial decisions had caused Wayne significant losses. Unwilling to risk history repeating itself, Wayne included a strict clause ensuring Larkova could never touch his daughter's inheritance, even if she passed away. Instead, her share would be passed directly to her children or another trusted heir. Wayne's will revealed much about his character. It showed his loyalty to those who had supported him, his desire to protect his children, and his determination to safeguard the wealth he had worked so hard to build. Just like the characters he played on screen, his final act was one of strength, control, and foresight. The family legacy. John Wayne left more than a film career. He left a foundation that his family could carry into the future. His careful planning gave his children and grandchildren financial security and preserved the Wayne name as a powerful legacy. His oldest son, Michael Wayne, became a respected Hollywood producer, carrying forward his father's influence in the film industry while also managing family affairs. Mary Tony Wayne lived a quieter life but remained closely connected to her siblings. Patrick Wayne followed most directly in his father's footsteps, building a long-acting career of his own. Melinda Wayne kept family matters organized, while Asa Wayne took part in the family business and often shared stories that introduced a father to new generations of fans. John Ethan Wayne, one of the younger children, both acted and worked to protect the Wayne brand, ensuring his father's image remained strong. The youngest daughter, Marissa Wayne, stayed active in family events and supported her siblings' efforts. Financially, Wayne's arrangements continued to benefit his loved ones. Josephine's trust fund supported her until her death, after which the money was passed on to their 4 children. This steady, protected stream of income provided stability for the family and safeguarded their future. His grandchildren also inherited responsibilities as well as resources, many of them helping to manage the estate and protect the Wayne legacy. Even decades after his death, John Wayne's name continues to generate income. The family still oversees the estate and benefit from licensing deals, merchandise, and memorabilia bearing his image. Fans across the world keep his memory alive, buying products and revisiting the films that made him a legend. Because John Wayne planned carefully and instilled strong values, his family not only preserved his wealth but also his reputation. His children and grandchildren learned to protect what he built, turning his legacy into a lasting family empire. What he left behind was not just money, but a name synonymous with strength, resilience, and American film history, a legacy that remains alive today. The modern business empire. John Wayne may be gone, but his name is still strong today. His family runs a company called John Wayne Enterprises, whose goal is to keep his memory alive and share his values with new generations. The company works hard to protect his name and image, making sure that anything connected to John Wayne stands for something good, high-quality products, strong values, and respect for what he believed in. They focus on things that last, choosing items that stand the test of time instead of chasing quick trends. Giving back is also part of the brand mission, making community support a key part of Wayne's legacy. Over the years, John Wayne Enterprises has grown into a large business. One of its most successful ventures is Wayne Family Estates, a winery that produces and sells wine. They also partnered with Fire and Flavor to create grilling tools and food items, products that fit perfectly with the cowboy lifestyle and outdoor spirit fans associate with Wayne. Beyond that, there are collectibles and keepsakes such as books, hats, clothing, posters, and other memorabilia. Some new, others tied directly to his classic films. Fans love being able to own a piece of his story, and the company also works with publishers to release books about his life and career, ensuring that his story is told in simple but powerful ways. Perhaps the most meaningful part of his legacy is the John Wayne Cancer Foundation, created after his death to honor his fight against the disease. Having battled cancer more than once, Wayne wanted to make a difference. The foundation funds research, supports patient programs, and educates the public on prevention and early detection. Today, John Wayne Enterprises is more than a business. It is a mission to honor his memory, protect his values, and help others. His family runs it with care and pride, ensuring that his name continues to stand for strength and integrity while also carrying forward the family's charitable legacy. Ongoing revenue streams. Even though John Wayne passed away decades ago, his name continues to generate significant income. His family has worked hard to keep his legacy strong, and today multiple revenue streams help support both the family and the brand. One of the largest sources of income remains his classic films. Titles such as True Grit, The Searchers, and Stagecoach continue to be shown on television, sold online, and streamed across digital platforms. Every time one of these films is watched, the estate earns royalties, including from international audiences, which has expanded the brand's global reach. Merchandise is another major revenue driver. Items such as shirts, hats, mugs, and posters with Wayne's image or quotes remain popular, appealing to longtime fans who grew up with his films and to younger generations discovering him for the first time. Brand partnerships add to this success, with a family carefully selecting products that reflect John Wayne's values of honesty, strength, and quality. The wine line and grilling products are strong examples, embodying the bold and simple lifestyle Wayne represented. Beyond films and merchandise, the estate benefits from real estate and investments. Over the years, the family has owned land and properties that have increased in value, managed carefully as part of a long-term financial strategy. They also hold other investments in business funds and stocks, which provide stability. By diversifying revenue sources, films, products, real estate, and investments, the John Wayne brand remains financially secure. This balance ensures that even if one area slows, others keep the business strong. The cultural impact. John Wayne's influence reaches far beyond money or business. His name became a symbol of strength, courage, and resilience in the face of adversity. To millions, he embodied the idea of a man who kept his word and never backed down. Over time, he rose to the status of a true American icon. On screen, Wayne played strong characters in westerns and war films, roles that audiences saw as reflections of real American values. He represented freedom, hard work, and bravery, ideals that resonated deeply with people across the country. Even today, many see John Wayne as the embodiment of the American spirit. His work not only defined the Western genre, but also shaped the cultural imagination of what it meant to be a hero. His legacy remains alive in film, business, charity, and the values he stood for, continuing to inspire new generations worldwide. John Wayne's walk, deep voice, and honest stare became part of film history, and he built the Western into a classic movie genre. Younger generations still watch his films and feel connected to his characters because his image stood for something real. In 2007, fans across the country celebrated his 100th birthday with large events honoring his legacy. Families gathered for chuckwagon dinners and outdoor concerts, bringing back the spirit of old Western life. People wore cowboy hats, sang songs from his films, and shared stories about what John Wayne meant to them. Auctions offered signed photos, film props, and rare collectibles, while competitions tested fans' knowledge of his movies with prizes. His family helped plan these celebrations to ensure they were meaningful as well as fun. One of the strongest parts of his legacy lives on through the John Wayne Cancer Foundation, created after his passing to fulfill his final wish. Having fought cancer more than once, John wanted to help others facing the same battle. The foundation raises money for cancer research and patient care, supporting events like golf tournaments and film nights. A special series, Louis and the Duke Classics, brings fans together to watch his films while raising funds for a worthy cause. Through the foundation, John Wayne's name continues to bring hope to families fighting cancer, reminding them to stay strong. His impact goes far beyond money or fame. He showed the world what it means to be strong, loyal, and brave. He became a part of American history, with his name standing for honesty, hard work, and courage. Through his films, his foundation, and the love of fans, John Wayne's legacy endures. His fortune changed his family's life forever, and his story, from humble beginnings to lasting influence, continues to inspire.